The learning objectives: identify the morphology of the joint, muscles acting on the elbow joint, the neurovascular supply of the joint, describe the carrying angle and applied aspect of the joint. Now you all are aware of the joint. There is the combination of formed by the two bones minimum or more than two bones can take place a joint. So here elbow joint is formed with the help of the lower end of the humerus, whereas the upper end of the radius and the ulna. If you look on this diagram showing the lower end of the humerus, where you can see the both condyles, the capitulum, the trochlea, where is on the distal side you can see the ulna bone and the radius is there. This is the head of the radius and this is the upper end of the ulna. You can see the trochlear notch. So they together form the elbow joint. In this it has got the articulation with the head of the radius and the capitulum of the humerus. So it is termed as the humeroulnar, the humeroradial, whereas the humeroulnar you can see here the trochlea and the this is the trochlea and the trochlear notch of the ulna. And the third one is here there is the articulation between the head of the radius and the radial notch of the ulna, termed as the superior radio ulnar joint. This joint is the hinge variety of the synovial type of the joint. So hence you have seen the doors, we open the door and close the door. So when they are moving, opening and for closing, you see in the doors these hinges are attached. On the basis of that it rotates, means we open the door and we close the door. Likewise here we flex the elbow and extend the elbow. But as far as the supination and pronation is concerned, it takes place on the superior radio ulnar joint and on the inferior radio ulnar joint. So articulation between the lower end of the humerus and upper end of the radius and ulna. The movements mostly take place on the joint is the flexion and extension. The biceps muscle and the arm ligaments located at front, back and sides of the elbow, they help to stabilize the joint. The capsular ligament, the capsule is attached superiorly the lower end of the humerus in such a way that it covers the capitulum, trochlea, radial fossa, coronoid fossa and olecranon fossa. So it covers all these areas together. Infromedially it is attached to the margin of the trochlear notch of the ulna. Inferolaterally it is attached to the annular ligament of the superior radio-ulnar joint. You can see here. The medial collateral ligament or the ulnar ligament You can see here. This is the medial collateral ligament. So this medial collateral ligament, you see, it looks like a triangle type. So it is got the anterior bundle, their most discrete segment, the posterior bundle thinking of the capsule, and the transverse bundle span the medial border of the semilunar notch. So it has got little bit or no contribution to the elbow stability. The lateral or the radial collateral ligament, you can see it's a fan shaped band extending from the lateral epicondyle to the annular ligament. It gives origin to the supinator and to the extensor carpi radialis brevis. The synovial bursa or the synovial membrane envelops the elbow and superior radioulnar articulation, lubricates the deeper structure of the joint. You can see this is the showing the synovial membrane, how it lines or covers. The two main bursa or the basipital bursa, which cushions the tendon when the forearm is pronated, and the olecranon bursa, which forms the liquid cushion. The muscles acting on the joint are basically, as we discussed, that at the elbow joint the flexion and extension takes place, where the supination and pronation takes place on the superior and inferior radioulnar joints. The flexion is done by the biceps brachii, brachialis, brachioradialis, and the pronator teres muscles, whereas the extension by the triceps and the anconeus. The supination by the biceps brachii, supinator, brachioradialis. Pronation by the pronator teres, pronator quadratus, anconeus, brachioradialis. So this is just for a reminder, recalling the memory. The flexors, 3Bs means biceps, long and shorted, brachioradialis, brachialis, extensors are the triceps and the anconeus. The biceps brachii, it has got the origin from the long head, from the superior supraglenoid tubercle. You can see here. Whereas the short head from the coracoid process. They have got the insertion on the radial tuberosity. Action, it flexes the elbow and helps in the supination of the forearm. The brachialis takes origin from the anterior surface of the distal humerus. Insertion on the ulnar tuberosity. Action, it is the flexor of the elbow. Brachioradialis, origin from the lateral supracondylar ridge of the humerus. Insertion on the radial styloid process. Action, it flexes the elbow. Where is the most extensor of the elbow is the triceps brachii. As we all are aware, biceps means two head, triceps means three head. So it is got three heads: long head, lateral head, medial head. The long head, it takes origin from the infraglenoid tubercle. You can see here, this is the long head. It takes origin from the infraglenoid tubercle. The lateral head from the posterior aspect of the humerus above the spiral groove. The medial head from the posterior surface of the humerus below the spiral groove. This is the medial surface, you can see here, and this is the lateral head of the triceps. This is the long head of the triceps. So this is the long head, the lateral head, and this is the medial head of the triceps brachii. They all have got together insertion on the olecranon process. Action, it is the main extensor of the elbow. Blood supply supplied by the brachial artery in its branches. Nerve supply is musculocutaneous, radial, and median nerves. The carrying angle the transverse axis of the elbow joint is directed medially and downwards. Because of this, the extended forearm is not in a straight line with the arm but makes an angle of about 160 to 170 degrees. So look, these both upper limbs, look at the difference of the angulation is formed. See here, compare these both. This is known as the carrying angle. The factor responsible for this is the medial flange of the trochlea, 6 mm deeper than the lateral flange. Superior articular surface of the coronoid process of the ulna is placed oblique to the long axis of the bone. Rather than long, it is obliquely placed. This carrying angle disappears in full extension of the elbow and also during pronation of the forearm. In males would be 11 to 14 and in females 13 to 16 degrees would be the differentiation over there. The larger angles are considered abnormal. The common elbow problems: arthritis, bursitis, fracture, injury, tendonitis. The arthritis is a common form of arthritis that can affect the elbow, include the osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, infectious arthritis. Mostly you people have heard about the pain in the joints. The bursitis of the elbow, also called the olecranon bursitis, occurs as a result of injury or constant pressure on the elbow. Fractures falling on outstretched hand or directly on the tip of the elbow can result in the dislocation or several types of the fracture depending on the fall. So for example, God forbid, sometimes there the quarrel, people fight with each other, they hit by that, it could be. Sometimes you have seen, maybe heard about the accidents, especially the motorbike accidents. It's very common in motorbike accidents. Injury, repetitive strain on the elbow can cause the inflammation. Again, tendonitis is the inflammation of the tendon, also termed as the epicondylitis.